basically what I love about recruitment is the impact that I get to make in somebody else's life, and especially when you find a candidate who's been unemployed for so many years and you are able to give them that opportunity. Also helping candidates that get to work for a company that they've always wanted to work for. So let's say I headhunt from a competitor and the candidate has always wanted to join the company that I'm recruiting for, and just the overall stakeholder management relationship that I get to have with the hiring managers as well as the HR teams internally. When I got into recruitment, it was actually by luck. So initially, I started off as a receptionist working for a recruitment agency. And I remember at the time, one of the senior recruitment consultants, her work volumes were quite high. And initially, I started off as a sourcing partner where she said to me, I need to fill 50 vacancies within a month. So for every successful CV that you find, you will get a fee for that. And I think also the financial reward, that's what actually drew me into recruitment. And yeah, that's how my career actually started in recruitment. At the time, I felt it was time for me to grow and spread my wings. And the opportunity at Chapter 2 was quite appealing to me because of the startup mentality. And obviously, it was a company that's new in South Africa. And as you can appreciate, with any new company, you're able to have those relationships with the MD of the business. And yeah, which is something that I'm truly enjoying currently at Chapter 2, where I'm able to make an impact or come up with suggestions, and they are taken to heart. Whereas where I was from, it was a company that was already established, so it was quite difficult to be able to make suggestions or even implement changes. So for me, joining Chapter 2, the startup mentality, and I think I've been researching a lot of startups as well, and I just like how they work. And yeah, I want to be part of change as well. So I don't want to come in and work for a company that's already well established. And especially working for corporates, it does take longer for you to reach that ladder. And yeah, there is processes and policies in place. And yeah, it's not easy to get your ideas. I mean, they do listen to you, but it will take time for those ideas to be implemented. So initially, I joined as a talent partner. And I think within a month, feedback from the client that we're servicing, I've been promoted into a team lead position. So it's my first time actually leading and managing a team. So I currently have 5 people reporting into me. And obviously the team is also going to grow. So for me personally, I've experienced the growth firsthand. Where the client and my MD saw the potential in me, and yeah, they've decided to create a position for me to say, do both roles. However, we still want to put you in a management or rather in a team lead position, of which is something that I'm enjoying at the moment. However, yeah, it does come with its challenges, and I've experienced those challenges to date. And also somebody within my team as well, now they're going to be seconded into a different account, also for the same client. So yeah, like I said, there is ample opportunities for you to grow, as long as the numbers speak for you. Yeah, the sky is the limit for you at WAYFAIR. So I mean, in South Africa, I mean, they've won, I think, 2 new accounts ever since I've been with the business. So I've been with Chapter 2 for 3 months now, and in the 3 months, there's been 2 big wins. And the team also in South Africa is growing, where there is 4 people that are starting within the new year. And when we spoke to our MD yesterday, and yeah, he's also mentioned that the team is growing, they are winning business, and our clients are loving us. So yeah, like I said, I'm really excited about Chapter 2, and I just want to see what the future is going to bring. And obviously bringing on board new clients from different industries, that is also something that I appreciate. The biggest challenge is obviously we trying to create the culture for South Africa. So that's a big challenge because we all feeling sort of like isolated because we are working on different accounts. So basically, it's just to creating that work environment where everyone is comfortable in. And I'd also say that the clients that we are servicing, they are quite demanding, where they have high expectations of us. So yeah, it's not an easy position to be in, even though we are able to do it. But as you understand, a lot of clients will always push you to your max. And I'm just glad that we've been put on a client who actually sees value in the service that we're providing. And it's a tailor-made service. So it's not just a talent sourcing service, but we go above and beyond that. My biggest success so far, obviously, is to be promoted within 2 months of joining the company, helping the MD make changes within the South African team, or rather trying to build and create a culture. And just overall having a voice and just working with the MD hand in hand, whilst also working with senior managers within the business to ensure that what I'm doing also becomes a success. So for me, my biggest take from this, I've never worked for a company where I've had such close working relationship with the managing director. Of which for me it is quite refreshing because I'm still new in my role and I'm still learning. And yeah, to be under somebody's guidance like Leo, I think it's an honor because he's been in the industry for long and obviously he's known in the market and clients trust him. And yeah, I can only hope that I can be better, if not greater than him, especially under his leadership. The collaboration that we have as a team, we're able to bounce off ideas of each other. Constant communication with everyone in the account, or rather in the business. So especially when we have new starters, I mean, we have WhatsApp groups where we are always talking to each other. But just overall, the home element of it, and why I'm saying the home element of it, I mean, also with my MD, the CSI stuff that he's doing in South Africa, that is also one of the things that I appreciate, because a lot of big corporates actually they don't tend to be open to ideas. Whereas at Chapter 2, we are able to come up with ideas, we are able to recommend charities, whereas with a well-established company, it is difficult to get those ideas in place. So the best thing about working for Chapter 2, and why I also accepted this opportunity, is the fact that I get to work remotely. So all my roles, I've always had to be office-based. So yeah, having the flexibility to be working from home, for me, that is great. Even though we tend to work longer hours, but I just like the flexibility where I don't have to drive into the office, be stuck in traffic, and by the time I get to the office, I'm grumpy. But what I also love about working for Chapter 2 is the people as well as the culture. Is the collaborative working and just being able to ask for support from the next person. And yeah, we are always willing to help and support each other. We're always bouncing off ideas. So it's never a matter of I'm working for a specific client, I'm not able to help you. If you put your hand up, everyone is willing to help. I mean, we're a community. I mean, it doesn't feel like I'm working for a company, but it feels more like home. Even though I know we've got strict KPIs in place, but more than anything, I always feel at home. Should I have a personal situation, I'm always able to revert back to my MD, and they will always put necessary measures in place to ensure that personally I'm taken care of. And in terms of work-wise, they'll always appoint somebody to try and help with the workload up until I'm able to come back and resume with my work. Due to the pandemic, I mean, companies have taken a different approach in terms of how they want to work. So the one point that I'd mention is that it is remote working, which is a plus for a lot of people. And another thing is the opportunity for you to grow within the business, whilst also having strong senior managers who would ensure your success at Chapter 2. Even though there will be KPIs and measures, but then if you are struggling, there'll always be somebody who's willing to help. So I've seen it firsthand where, I mean, if there's a situation with somebody, we don't drop you, but we all put our heads together to ensure that you become success. And also with the MD, that's also his motto to say, okay, if we have somebody with performance issues, we're not going to work them out, but then we're going to give them the right tools to ensure that they actually become a success. So basically, we want to see everyone at Chapter 2 being successful. So we're not a typical recruitment agency where if somebody's having issues with performance or if there's something and they quickly want to get rid of that person, Chapter 2 is not that environment. I mean, obviously it's a business. We have to make sure that everybody's performing and delivering, but there's always measures in place that will support your success. Our service is literally tailor-made for each client. So we don't provide the same service to every client, but we tend to focus on a specific need for the client to ensure that we're able to provide an exceptional service. And why they also buy into us is the service and the quality of work that we each provide to each client. And I mean, we've had repeat business within Chapter 2 where a client worked for company X and then they moved to company Y, and then they would always recommend Chapter 2 because of the exceptional work that we've done. So also we get repeat business because of the service that we provide, but then also that we are professionals and we are quite engaged and we listen to the client needs, and we just always make sure that the client sees value in our service. So for me, being in Chapter 2, to be honest with you, I love it. And more than anything, I was never wanting to work for a newly created company or rather a startup. So I've always worked for big corporates. And recently I've had a mind shift set where I want to work for a company where I'm able to make an impact, where I'm able to make change. And more than anything, what I love about Chapter 2 is that I'm taken care of financially and in every aspect of my role. It's been great so far. To be honest with you, I've got nothing negative to say about Chapter 2. But I've got support from my MD, I've got support from my colleagues. So there's just support everywhere. However, also me as an individual, I always have to make sure that I am performing my duties to the best of my capabilities. When you join Chapter 2, you literally have to come in and hit the ground running. Even though when you join a new company, you always think, oh, things are going to be slightly quiet. Maybe the first 2 weeks, yes, but then after that, you are set to run. So I work with my senior recruiter who is based in London. So basically, she manages the stakeholder management. And then my function is a talent partner. So literally, I am required to bring in new talent. So it's not even a matter of us relying on advert or job responses, but it's a matter of me going out into the market and actually approaching candidates that are passive, whilst also leading a team of other talent partners just to ensure that we are all successful in the account and we are able to deliver on the objectives that have been set for us. It's a role that I definitely love, even though I did this about 3 years ago. So before that, before I joined Chapter 2, I was doing a full 360, and what I'm doing currently, I'm loving. I'm learning and I'm growing on both roles that I'm doing at the moment, even though at times it is a bit challenging because my day can be filled with TA screenings and then the next minute I'm in a management meeting. So it's just me trying to find a balance. And yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I have days where I'm nervous. I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna get through my actions for the day. But yeah, definitely excited to have joined chapter 2. So yeah, we are working with a local charity called Rainbows and Smiles. So we're basically it's a group of 2 ladies that are running the charity, and obviously they've got support from other people. But basically, they are looking after previously disadvantaged children, where we are providing healthcare and transportation from the remote areas where they're based to the local hospital to enable them to get the treatment and care that they need. And also just reuniting families, and especially after the children have completed their treatment, it's them going back home to their parents to be reunited. Also in December, we had Christmas hampers also for the families, just to ensure that everyone had a good Christmas without feeling left out, because people were not able to be able to get the Christmas hampers for themselves. But then, yeah, this is also a charity that I love myself, because I've never worked for a company where I've been in the business for a month and already we are discussing charity stuff. We're discussing amount of donations that have been made to charity. So yeah, a big kudos to Leo for literally taking care of our community. So I love that.